Together with that high on the mountain.
How are you doing?
Great, how about yourself?
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Go ahead. No Tina or...
She's outside.
Oh, okay. And then
What's that?
Hey, what's the other
D,
gentleman's
he's
name?
down working on my boat.
Okay.
I talked to Tina and she says she doesn't need to be really in here. And I can give you the
Well, I like your shoes.
Thank you, but I don't like them at all.
Oh, you don't?
No. Look at this. I've had these a week.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I don't use them much. Now I do dance a little. And then the interior sole that I replaced with a Dr. Scholl, it came out like, because it had glue right away.
Oh, okay.
But I checked different products and like this thing is a JBL wireless speaker, $50. Okay, and it has a great sound. Actually, I'll just do it quickly.
Neat.
I don't know if it's still good. I don't have it anyway, has a great sound, $50 off Amazon, that's the way to go. And actually, here's the other thing. I bought this Nokia Lumia phone. I was attracted because I use these like $30 Samsungs. So I figured, and I go prepaid, I don't use the data, but I have Wi-Fi on my board. So I figured if I got a phone that had Wi-Fi, I could use my boat's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And they had a smaller version for $30. I upgraded for this for $60. You get the equivalent of this Microsoft Lumia Nokia. For Apple, it's $600. Wow. So for $60 and $50, you got, like, you don't even need it as a phone. It's a great music system. It beats out the Apple iPods. But anyway, that's a long story. Wow. So let's talk about where I am in terms of everything.
How are you doing with the meds?
Yes, I went to the 4, okay.
Okay.
And within a day or two of our meeting, I went to Rite Aid.
Okay.
Got a quote on the Risperdal.
Oh.
And they gave me a quote of $230-something for 30 days. And so I didn't fulfill it. But anyway, so
would Costco be cheaper?
it doesn't matter.
Oh.
I don't really need the sleeping. So, okay. I was staying up till like 2, sometimes 3 in the morning in the beginning.
Yeah.
Now I'm sleeping a good 7 hours. I'm going to bed before midnight. So I really don't do it. Furthermore, I don't want to call myself a rabid, but I am sort of like a Christian Scientist. Now, if a Christian Scientist was to sit here in front of you as a bipolar, what would be your prescription? What do Christian Scientists take for their insanity if they can't take drugs?
I would.
You could be stumped if you could say that.
I'd probably say that I think it's worth taking medicine if you're acutely manic, because the consequences are too potentially devastating.
But they have a biblical thing. Yeah, I understand what the logical thing is, but they have like a biblical requirement. Anyway,
Really?
I told you in the
Same
beginning.
as like Jehovah's Witnesses and blood transfusions? Is it like?
I think so, but let's say I was just, let's say it was that. Whatever it is, there are people that have those. I'm saying I'm not rabid about it, but I do believe this. I believe we overprescribe everything. And so fundamentally, until the medical practice can tell me they've like measured all the combinations of everything, I'd rather not take combinations of anything. And if I can get by through my life without drugs other than like weed, which comes from the earth and I'm comfortable with, and I'm happy, but I'm happy to stay on my meds. So that's why I say I'm not rabid. But I would say that if you were to try to sell a Christian Scientist, that you would say, try to sell him lithium and just say it's just salt. And then it's not like a drug. But anyway, so. Yeah.
Well, if you were to just stop the Depakote completely, say not even take 2 a day,
well, first thing is,
you get manic to the point where
right now I'm not planning to stop.
Oh,
okay.
Good.
If I was to stop, I would phase out. I'm not planning to stop. The Depakote doesn't even slow my mind down, but it keeps from going overboard.
Good.
Okay. See, in the prior times, I was exploring my mania, I think, when I would go 3 or 7 days at one time.
Wow.
And like right now, if I go at the night, I know I'm losing like my rational consciousness, and that's not the right time in my movie, which is like the 10-year anniversary now. Because it was 10 years today that I figured out how to buy the world, and basically offered to buy every company on the planet, and shortly thereafter offered to buy every enterprise on the planet. And as soon as I did that, okay, in my story, and actually in reality, I finished the game. See, there was a game in the beginning, and the first guy that comes along and offers to buy the whole thing and names the guys in charge and plays it was very simple. It's in your Bible. It's Isaiah 2.4. He will rebuke many people and judge among the nations, for they will learn war no more. And all they needed to do was see a thing from me saying, what if, it was an email saying, what if we were one enterprise together, in effect? It was like, it was crazy. Okay, but anyway, what I was getting before I got an attention, through my manic episodes, I was writing stuff that I only recently listened to. And I can listen to because I can turn on my voiceover on all my writings from 10 years ago. These are emails I sent to the top of your world that I'm sending back to them. Because I bought them 10 years ago. And 10 years ago I operated since then in 2 realities. I am crazy, and okay, whatever, I'm crazy, and I'm going to stay as sane as I can in an insane world. But on the other reality, I bought them in the beginning. I had Greenspan to explain infinite money, and Steve Jobs and the technology guys to roll that up, and Spielberg and cameraman, and I bought out Bush and Putin and other freaking politics guys, because imagine a world that was bought out by an email, and all of a sudden, what was it? It was a plan for them to get their minds together and say, oh, if we had one bank, if we had one technology plan, if we started sharing our resources instead of war and conflict, because see, the war is more than just the war on the battlefield. It's the war in the boardrooms and our streets and the bedrooms and the children. And what I was like telling them is about the bad news. And you know it, because you've lived it. We basically teach children to watch cartoons, and then they grow up to 12, and we start showing TV, breaking news, killing, right and left. And so as a psychologist, by the way, you're on top of all of psychology. You might be able to like find somebody else and retire out, but you're the chairman of the board of psychology for the planet, and emeritus and the founding father of psychology forever. Because, well, we're all going to go back to school. Because years ago I ran a contest. I said, listen, I'm running a contest. You maybe didn't even know it existed. I'm running for the sanest man on the planet. Now, who else has even had that contest? And I said, I'm running for the insanest man. Now, not necessarily the wacko guy that is like really needs help, because we made him need help, because we put him in this reality. But then I said, also, I'm running for the holiest guy. But see, that was the thing. As soon as, well, it was twofold. As soon as I figured out how to buy the planet the old-fashioned way with technology and money, two of the next big things, I then thought, how do I explain it? And see, since a 12-year-old boy, I've known, sort of intuitively, that all of our Bibles were one, and that the five were most important. That the three, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, were all one, they were one God. And Buddhism and Hinduism were zero and many God religion, but there was a paradigm, and the rules were all fundamentally the same. I saw that as a boy. It never mattered until I figured out the old-fashioned way how to buy the world. And then I thought, how do I explain it? And so I spent the last 10 years writing and playing around in the movies and thinking about it in my head. But I knew, I think, at least in my fantasy movie, in the beginning, as soon as they got the email, these top-of-the-guy angels got this plan. And all of a sudden, there's a plan for the guy from the middle who has no agenda other than their own. Anyway.
Well, okay.
So,
William, so do you not have Medicare?
No, I have Medicare, even better.
Oh.
And Social Security for life, because it's insane not to be crazy in America.
Do they pay do they pay for the depot code?
No, here's the deal. You can, I have Medicare Part B. My depot code was running about $150 a year. And remember we talked about it just getting bumped up to about $650, $700 a year from Costco. Oh. I can still handle that. I net $24,000 a year. That's not even an issue at $700 a year. However, it's too low to justify the insurance payments. I haven't looked at it lately since the upgrade, but I think the insurance payments are at least $50 to $100 a month.
Oh.
So it's the only drug I require, and unless I require a more expensive drug. Now the problem is, because of our freaking healthcare system, I can't just take my decision now. I have to wait till the annual decision period in December to change over to Part D. And so I'm on Part B. I'm a cash-only guy. And I don't need the expensive stuff anyway. Here's the thing. Even if I qualified for it, I think it's immoral to use drugs that are costing the government, because it comes out of our pockets anyway. It's like for doctors to run around and be oblivious, because maybe they were taught by the drug companies in the system to be oblivious to the prices. It's like, it's like a system. That's what basically the world needs, a closed-in loop system all the way around.
Well, if things were going to get, if you're getting manic to the point where you might end up in jail or the hospital, it would be cheaper to pay for some meds to prevent it, because the hospital would be like
I don't have a problem with it. Yes, I am not to that point, and I'm not getting nowhere near it. Okay. I am perfectly actually comfortable. So I think,
in fact, 4 a day?
4 a day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and I bought a new boat, a new old boat last week.
Oh, I think Tina was telling me that you sold one or bought a.
Well, I'm selling my other one, but I found the perfect boat last week, and I looked at the list, saw the price. It was a great price comped. open the thing. Now, see, this is why it gets strange. Okay, I open this boat thing. It's great price. And I look at the boat, and right on top of the front of it says good news. And it's like, oh, I got to buy this bond. And it's like, oh, okay, why?
Can you afford it?
What?
Can you afford it?
Actually, I can't afford not to. Because, see, I was looking around. My future plan was to find a bigger slip for $25,000 and then get it near the boat. Well, it turns out 4 slips down was this perfect boat that maximizes the slip. And if I sell my boat out for about $70,000 out the door, this one's $25,500. So for about $7,000, I'm upgraded to where I wanted to be in 5 years.
All right.
And then I get that one out, I sell that one out, and then I have cash in the bank as my backup plan.
Okay.
I don't plan to go to jail. I just saw the Harbor Patrol guy today. We just had a conversation,
Okay,
not about me, about some other vandal running around.
Well,
so
good.
that's not an issue.
I'm glad you're sleeping at least 7 hours. I think, well, I'm imagining that when you were going so fast that you weren't sleeping and you were going days and ended up in the jail and in the puff, that point something went, it went too far.
Well, no, I can tell you
just
exactly what went too far. Okay, first thing is, there are little triggers. Okay, in this fantasy reality, even though I'm living in reality, there are little producers like Spielberg and those guys are running in and like throwing in the like things. Okay, like tell me, in 2010, I crashed my car in Rattlesnake Canyon, and I called my cab up and gave him $1,000 cash because I owed him $100. Rose Cab, he knows he's a Muslim. Anyway, and then I go and I'm down in my shorts and I'm walking around and around like the place, and I'm putting my computers around and stuff, and where the cops are there, and they're just standing there watching. I'm putting my computers around, walking up and down, smoking a joint, like 45 minutes, an hour, maybe more. I walk down into the canyon, like with just my shorts on, go into the water, come out of the water, and then walk up to the cops and say I'm ready to go. And so.
Well, what did they arrest you for?
Well, crazy.
Well, they
5150.
Yeah, but what did they say?
What I was wondering is, why did they let me wander around smoking a joint for 45 minutes? And that made me go off to Vegas, and then I blew 150,000 there. But anyway, so back to the point of the point I was